guys, so welcome back to another video on the channel. In today's episode we have a review of the Realme X2 Pro. So in today's episode I'm just going to go over my thoughts and opinions of the Realme X2 Pro, going over design, display, battery, performance and other stuff like that. So yeah, by the way, this film is all being shot on the Realme X2 Pro, recorded at 4K at 30 FPS. So if you like what you see, you know that the video quality is good. And also, I did do a camera review of the Realme X2 Pro if you're interested in watching that. But without further ado, let's not waste any time and get right into the review. Alright guys, so talking about battery, the Realme X2 Pro has a 4000 mAh battery that usually lasts me around 5 to 6 hours with my usage. So with my usage I play a couple games, not very often, but I go on social media, I watch a load of YouTube videos, and that's basically all I do on my phone. So it usually gets me through 5-6 hours, which is probably about average battery life, maybe just above average. I do think for you guys though it should last a bit longer if you just type it on Discord, because I do have quite heavy usage. I also take a lot of 4K video, so that really does impact battery life, because 4K video, especially at 60 FPS, which is what I usually record at when I'm just out and about, that also is very intensive. So yeah, I probably have a more intense use than you, so you might get around 7 hours of usage on the Realme X2 Pro, which is actually really good battery life. So I think battery performance, this phone is great. And not to mention the amazing 50-watt fast charging. So basically you stick this in its charger, the SuperVOOC 2.0 flash charge, which is a 50-watt charger, and it's still legal to take on planes because it's 50 watt, not 100 watt. And basically this phone can get you from 0 to 100 in 25 to 28 minutes or so, something like that. And I did a charging test. If you want to see that, it'll be linked here or in the description below, because it is one of, if not the fastest charging phone on the market right now. And it's so refreshing to just stick it in for half an hour. You go play on your Xbox for like half an hour, you come back and shellac. What am I saying? Alright guys, so talking about display, we get a 90Hz HDR10 Plus panel, and this is amazing for a phone of this price range. I mean, seriously, £350, which is around $450 US, you get 90Hz refresh rate, which makes everything feel buttery smooth. And you also get HDR10 Plus, which is an awesome, great feature to have. So basically, this panel is amazing. Sure, it might have a notch which intrudes on it, but honestly, I think this is one of the best panels you can get right now for the price. Most ones at this price range don't have a higher refresh rate, which this phone does. More phones are getting them now, but I still think, especially when this phone came out, this was an absolute amazing panel. The only other phone at this price range that had that was the OnePlus 7T, and I also have a camera comparison against OnePlus 7T coming up soon. If you're watching YouTube, the content looks amazing. It just looks bright and colourful. You can also change the colour profile within the settings. But yeah, this is an amazing phone for content consumption, which, sure, it has a notch, but it's still amazing. Moving on to software now, we have the Realme UI on top of Android 10 now. So this is a lot better than what ColorOS was offering, which was from Android 9. And now that Realme UI is here, it's so much better. You basically get loads of features, and man, it just feels so smooth. Like, it feels pretty much like stock Android. One of the cleanest skins out there. You don't really get much bloatware. Sure, you might get like a calculator app and a recorder and stuff like that, but I think most people are actually going to use those instead of some of the bloatware like Candy Crush that you see in some Verizon phones and stuff like that. No bloatware, and it just feels incredibly fast. Alright guys, so talk about cameras. This phone actually is really good. I mean, it's not top notch, it's not Pixel 3a, iPhone SE level, but it's very close. I mean, I know people are probably going to be surprised by that. I know I'm not like a super photographer or anything like that, but I know what I'm talking about a bit. Yeah, I was actually really surprised by the performance, like, of photos and videos off of the Realme X2 Pro. As you can see, I'm filming this entirely on that phone, and if you want to know more about the camera, I'll leave a camera review of it right here. But yeah, I just really like the cameras. I actually prefer the selfies on this rather than the Pixel 3a, so I actually do think if you're a selfie shooter or vlogger, that this is a much better selfie picture. It looks more natural, and you get more of a natural picture compared to the Google Pixel 3a. which was absolute 2019's huge camera phone of the year. So I just think that this beats it out in that regard. And you also get way more versatility than those phones. So the Pixel 3a and the iPhone SE, you only have one camera. This has four. Alright guys, so talk about those four lenses. We also get a 64 megapixel Sony IMX586 lens with an aperture of f1.8. So moving on from the main sensor, we also get a telephoto lens which has 2x optical zoom with an f2.4 aperture, and we also get a ultra wide lens which is an 8 megapixel resolution with an f2.2 aperture. So that gives you a 16mm field of view and like stuff like that. That's more photography stuff. I'm not really an expert on that, but that's some of the specs. And we also get, people call it useless, but I actually find it quite useful just for portraits and stuff like that, because that's pictures that I usually take portraits. So we also get a 2 megapixel depth sensor. So touching on speakers, we get a stereo speaker setup right here. So we get two speakers, a earpiece speaker and a mono speaker at the bottom. The earpiece speaker is just above the notch, I forgot to mention that. And we also get a mono speaker at the bottom. So yeah, here's a sample of the audio right now. Finally, the performance isn't best in class. It's last year's best flagship chip, which means that it's not the most up to date. Bearing in mind this phone did come out last year, so it's not like they could have planned ahead and got the next year's Snapdragon 865. But this isn't the best in class performance. You could probably find Realme X30 Pro with a Snapdragon 865 for an extra 50 UK pounds. But to be honest, you're not really gonna notice that, because this gives you insane performance and it's 50 quid cheaper than the other phones that offer the 865. So if you're not a heavy gamer, I just wouldn't suggest going for the 865 phones. You're gonna get great performance, like outstanding performance with this phone, with an Antutu score of 480,000, around that. And I'll show the Geekbench 5 scores up now. But the last thing I wanted to mention was the idiot. Sorry. To talk about my final thoughts on the Realme X2 Pro, we're just gonna head to the morning. Alright guys, so back in the morning, I'm just gonna give you guys my overall conclusion. And so overall, this phone is an absolute steal of a deal. Snapdragon 855 Plus, quad camera, 64 megapixels. You get an absolute steal here, and the software is super clean. You get an excellent performance. The cameras are really good, I think. You also get a great selfie shooter, and there's just so much more, especially the 50-watt fast charging just makes this phone a dream. Literally, I just put it on whenever I'm having noodles. It goes from 0 to 75% in 15 minutes, so once I'm done eating my noodles, I come back and the phone's ready to play with. So yeah, that was my review of the Realme X2 Pro. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Alright guys, so the last thing I want to say before I go, I know I've already done the outro, but if you're still listening, I'm sorry for the audio at the start. My mic just wouldn't work for some reason. And I'm also sorry that I've been so sweaty during the video. You may have seen sweat pouring down my face, but it's because the British summertime is here and I'm just getting absolutely beamed on from above. I don't know if you can see. Well, you probably can't, but yeah. But remember, stay safe, stay healthy, and stay techie, and I'll see you next one.